Welcome to How to Save Your Marriage with Nicola Beer, a full show of tips and practical strategies to repair, rebuild, and strengthen your relationship. If you are currently stuck, wondering if your marriage can be saved, or you know you want to save it but don't know how to go about changing it, this show is for you. To book your free marriage strategy session with Nicola, get the free marriage ebook or donate. If you are enjoying the show and want to help keep it flowing, visit www.nicolabeer.com.
Hi and welcome, this is Nicola Beer and I'm going to be talking today about what to do if you suspect your husband or your wife is having an affair. It's not an easy thing to face, thinking that your partner could be cheating on you. It can bring a host of emotions like jealousy, anger and sadness. It may be causing you extreme anxiety, worrying about where they are, what they are doing. And you may be bursting with irritation or fear every time they are on their phone or say that they're working late. You may also feel low about yourself. You may feel that you are too fat, small, wrinkly, etc. And this will lead you to feel even worse. You may start to not trust anyone if you suspect that your husband or wife is having an affair. You may distrust all women or all men or everyone. Think that everyone is a liar or everyone is a cheater. And you'll definitely be overanalyzing everything your spouse says, does. And if you suspect your husband or wife is having an affair, then this analysing will be continuous and exhausting. Most likely your sleep, your concentration throughout the day is undoubtedly going to suffer. So to help you, before you take any drastic actions and possible destructive actions, if you want to know if your husband or wife is cheating on you, I'm going to share some things that you need to completely avoid doing if you suspect that your partner is cheating on you. So the first thing is not to keep it all inside. While it's not good to go off the handle and do something drastic, it's also not good to keep all your emotions bottled up inside when suspecting that your husband or wife is cheating on you. Keeping these kinds of thoughts inside can be damaging, and it's important to talk to someone you can trust to be impartial, non-judgmental and helpful, so that you can vocalize how you are feeling and get the questioning, doubting and obsessive thoughts out of your head. If you stay living in the anxiety with thoughts like, are they cheating on me? I bet they're cheating on me. Who are they cheating on me with? They're not having sex with me. They must be having sex with someone else. They're working late. Are they meeting someone? They're always on their phone. Are they messaging someone else? They are going out tonight to cheat. All of this is going to lead you to feel so much worse and in so much more pain, because these questions will just send you round and round in circles. It may make you feel like you're going to explode, and it's guaranteed to keep on circling in your head and keep you from doing anything else in your life. It can also manifest into other things if you keep overthinking the thoughts. As a process of analysing and then providing the explanations ourselves, even if we're not sure it's true, can make us become really stressed out and cause pain where there may not even need to be any pain. Many people that I help that want to know if their husband or wife has been cheating on them have health problems. Stomach ulcers, for example, neck pain, aching body, back pain, insomnia, and feel unwell. If you don't have anyone that you can trust to confide in, then write or draw out your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions. Some find the power of journaling, painting and drawing very helpful. The next thing not to do is not to ask for advice from family and friends unless you're sure that they're going to have a non-judgmental viewpoint. If you want to know that you have a cheating husband or wife, it's important not to go to people that are scarred by their own experiences either, as looking for advice from our nearest and dearest may not be the best idea, because those closest to us are often not in the position to offer the kind of advice and support we need. Some family members may tell you to ditch them straight away if you suspect they are cheating, or tell you that they probably are cheating, that all men cheat. Others might advise you to hire a private detective, or to stalk them, or to set up a trap to catch them out. Then there are people who say affairs and cheating are no big deal, not to worry about an affair, that he or she is in a relationship with you and an affair doesn't matter. Lastly, there are those poor people who only see the negative and worst case scenarios in everything. And if you open up to a person that sees the worst case scenario, that's going to really hurt you. Bless them, when people think like that, when they think that everyone's a cheater, everyone's out to get them, they may love you, but they're not going to help you to look at things calmly, rationally and practically, and may make you feel even worse than you already do. So before you go and speak to friends and family and ask advice, ask yourself, why do you want to speak to that person? Are you looking for your feelings to be validated? Or are you looking for them to tell you that they are not cheating, so you can go back to your life before you began suspecting them of cheating? In either circumstances, you don't need to hear people telling you things just to make you feel better. Just to make you feel like you're right or not right. As you probably won't listen to them anyway, you'll probably keep on going and getting more opinions and more opinions, because actually the only person that can support you is you. And whilst it can be useful definitely to speak to a specialist in this area that's going to help you lighten the load, relieve the burden, have someone to talk to you about it, having someone to tell you what to do is not going to help. And many find that when they ask for advice and they don't get the response they're looking for, they feel even more suspicious or even more crazy. So if you're really serious about what you're feeling and think that your partner could be cheating, then you definitely need to speak to people who are grounded, who have an open mind, who can analyse the facts, who can listen to you without jumping to make a conclusion. The next thing that you can do to support you is to not pretend that it doesn't exist. Pretending that it's not real, ignoring that it may not have happened, or saying to yourself it was just a one-off thing, is not a great way to handle the situation. Let's say that they did have an affair and it is true. Your suspicions are true. It's not going to help you burying your head in the sand, ignoring it. And it's also not going to help you if you're still suspecting. Because if you're still suspecting, that suspicion often just gets louder and louder over time. Many people have a seed planted of jealousy or of insecurity, and over time it gets worse and worse, not better. And people hope that over time they'll feel better. And actually, if you have insecurity challenges, if you have jealousy challenges, then it's important to address them, because they can get worse over time. And we don't want this to ruin your relationship. It's natural to occasionally have an insecure thought, but if you act on these insecure thoughts, or if these insecure thoughts come up regularly, monthly, and they affect how you feel, how you sleep, how happy you are, then maybe it's time to get some support for yourself to clear these insecurities. When I help people to clear insecurities, to clear their jealous thoughts, we first look at what they all are. Then we look at, is there any reality behind them? Then we do any healing of the past, because often they come from childhood or from previous relationships. We do a bit of healing and clearing there. Then we do some hypnotherapy, where I record a hypnotherapy track for them, create one for them, so that they feel more confident, happier, good enough in themselves. And that monkey mind is just absolutely calm. And then there's talking to your partner about it. Now, if you talk to your partner about it, hopefully they'll be able to reassure you and help you move past the suspicion. Or if they are cheating, they may decide to open up and admit what they have done. Talking is good if you feel that you can have a safe, open space of communication with your partner, and want to talk about it to help clear up the suspicion. Remember though, that you need to be prepared for any outcome. So when people come to me and they say, Nicola, I really think my husband or wife is having an affair, I want to speak to them, then there's definitely things you need to do if you're going to speak to them. It needs to be done calmly, and you need to be prepared for the outcome, as I just mentioned. So what does that mean? That means, okay, if they tell you, yes, they are having an affair. If they tell you no, and they give you some reasons, are you prepared for the outcomes? Are you willing to accept the outcomes? Bearing in mind that your husband or wife might be really angry if you accuse them. They may become defensive, they may admit it, they may become aggressive, they may suggest that you break up if you don't trust them, they might turn it back on you. So it's really good to talk through the possible scenarios so that you can respond calmly and be composed when you speak to them to diffuse any arguments. The next thing is not to snoop. Snooping in certain countries, definitely where I am in Dubai, is illegal. So make sure that you're not crossing and breaking the law. But even if you're not breaking the law, even in countries where snooping may be legal, it often causes more damage than good in relationships. Snooping means going through your partner's phone, tracking their phone or car, installing video cameras in the house, opening their mail, checking their email, setting up a false email to get them to fall into a trap. It will be tempting to want to check where they are, what they're doing, what they're saying. But all it's going to do is lead you to get obsessed and really bog you down. You may find that you read too much into things. So let's say, for example, you find a deleted message on a phone. You may think, okay, that deleted message is cheating, when it's not. I sometimes send messages and I'm using WhatsApp and I send a message to one person, but somehow it goes to the other person, so I delete that message. It's not because I've sent anything wrong to that person, it's just the wrong message for that person. It could be something innocent like that, and then you might think that it's cheating. There also might be personal conversations between girlfriends and guy friends. Sometimes girls might be talking about how hot a male is, or guys talking about how hot a girl is. And then that can be taken and blown so out of proportion, some innocent joking between friends, and then it started to ruin the relationship, or could even end up ending the relationship, because you've got so worked up and you've made so many accusations. You may also read into conversations with a best friend or a woman. I remember working with a lady who was married for 16 years, the relationship was going through troubles, they had 3 children together, and she was snooping on her husband's phone and became convinced that he was gay because he was having and sharing how he was feeling about his relationship and about his work with another male work colleague. And then when I spoke to him and she'd accused him of being gay, he just couldn't believe it because it was so far from the truth. So sometimes reading people's messages, we can completely get the complete wrong impression, and this can just lead us to get more hurt unnecessarily. And what about work colleagues? I've had couples come to me annoyed, or individuals come to me annoyed that their partner has been having lunch with someone at work, and yet it's a business lunch. And so it's really important to not snoop. If we really need to talk to that person, we need to talk to that person. And I get people asking me all the time, Nicola, do you think this means they're cheating? Do you think that means they're cheating? And so they're just searching and searching and searching. And this can become a self-fulfilling prophecy. If all of your mind is focused on trying to catch them out cheating, then you're just going to find little things that could look like cheating when it's not. So only you know whether you're at that stage. Other times there may be things that are so obvious. But what I will say is that snooping can become addictive. Many people get really addicted into it. They start checking it, the husband's or wife's phone, they don't find anything, they feel calm, they feel better, it's a relief, then they want to check the next day because their anxieties and their insecurities or their jealousy is up, and then this calms it. So it's rewarding that behaviour. And when you keep rewarding that behaviour, it's going to become an addiction. And when really, if you have insecure thoughts that are out of control, jealous thoughts that are out of control, it's really about calming them, looking for help or working through it on your own in dealing with these thoughts yourself. This is what's going to really help you. Because in order for a relationship to thrive, trust has to be present. There has to be a loving trust between you. And trust is not something that happens overnight, of course. So if you're in a new relationship and you're not fully trusting, maybe that's because you've had a bad relationship in the past, or maybe you haven't been able to trust one of your parents. If you are in that relationship with someone for a long time, then you need to look at why is not trust there. Are there other things where there hasn't been trust? For example, I'm working with a lady at the moment who is going through a really hard time because she can't trust her husband. And her husband has been emotionally talking her into doing things that she doesn't want to do of a sexual nature. So she's really can't trust him in any area of life now because of this. So is there something else in your relationship where you don't trust them? Sometimes people don't trust their partner financially. They don't know how much their money they're earning. They don't know how much money they're spending. This causes a lack of trust. And so they bring out the lack of trust and accuse them of cheating when actually it's to do with financial distrust. So it's important to look at where is this coming from. I hope this is making sense and I'm not rambling all over the place. I apologise if it doesn't seem to be flowing. Following them, snooping on their phone and creating fake social media accounts basically is an unhealthy way. That's basically what I really wanted to say of approaching a situation if you suspect your husband or wife is having an affair. A lot of people do wait until they've got evidence before they sit down and talk to them. This is up to you. What do you feel is going to work and what is not going to work? But if you do have that discussion, definitely make sure that the discussion is done in a calm way and in a way where you feel you can handle the outcome or that you're prepared for the outcome. And you may want to plan what you're going to say, how you're going to say it, so that it comes across in a way where you might get them to open up. Because really you want the truth. And then from the truth you can start rebuilding the relationship, if that's the path you go, or take a different direction, depending on how you're both feeling and what you're wanting. So taking a step back can really help to make sure you're putting things into perspective, not overacting or overanalyzing. And also looking at whether you are being insecure, jealous and irrational, or whether you're actually being logical in your thinking and feeling. And taking a breather. I like to meditate on things, close my eyes, sit in silence. A lot of people believe that they can't meditate, that it's difficult, and it's so easy. And you may not be doing it correctly, but who cares? It's just about quieting your mind and waiting for answers to come to you. And if you're not quieting your mind, if you're not sitting in silence, or if you can't sit in silence, driving in silence, walking in silence, but when we're in silence, answers come to us. I do yoga every morning, and when I'm doing my yoga every morning, I get things come to me in my head because I'm focusing on the posture, and then ideas will come, solutions will come, random things will come, and it's brilliant. And it's just because I'm actually in that silence, or I'm not really thinking about anything at all, that things come into my head that really help me. So make sure that you definitely have some quiet time for yourself. And then the last thing is pretty obvious, however, you'd be surprised how many people do this, and I know I've had drunken arguments myself, and that is don't confront your partner while you or them are under the influence. Being under the influence of alcohol or other medication or drugs and choosing to confront your partner is never going to help you or the relationship. It has far more potential to escalate and cause problems. You want a productive conversation, you want them to explain and be non-defensive, you want the truth, and you want to be your true self to them and let them be their true self to you. And alcohol-fueled arguments or drug-fueled arguments are not going to get you in that way. And you may say things that you can't take back. We want to avoid that. And I know, I get it. Maybe you feel like, I just need a drink to have the courage to be able to bring it up. But it really does cloud your judgment. And it also prevents you from reading their body language, because their body language can tell you a lot. Not just the words that they say. How they react when you ask them about the news. Do they listen attentively? Do they overreact? How are they reacting? And you'll be able to see this. And when we're drunk, you may get a completely different response to the response that you were hoping for, because they've had too much to drink or you've had too much to drink and it's all come out wrong. So I hope this has helped you. Do really take time out for yourself. Do really examine yourself. Is this my insecurities, my jealousy, or is this real? And if you're unsure if it's real, get out of your head, take some time out, get some help, speak to someone, because it's just going to go round and round, unfortunately, unless you look at these issues. And maybe it's both. Sometimes it's actually both. Sometimes it's like, okay, I'm being insecure and I'm being jealous because of previous relationships, but hang on a minute, my husband or wife is acting in really strange ways, or really flirting with someone else, or there's inappropriate messages, or they're avoiding me. And these things need to be addressed. And sometimes people avoid people not because they're having an affair, because there's a resentment there. I'm working with a couple at the moment, and the wife is saying to me, I'm sure he's having an affair, Nicola. He won't open up to me. He's rude to me. He doesn't ask me how my day is. We're living in silence. I'm sure he's having an affair. You have your session with him, and hopefully we can change the relationship. So I always work with a couple individually first and then together. So I had this session with her, and then when I spoke to the husband, it was resentment. He was feeling like he's working so hard for the family. He's doing everything to make sure that they have enough money for their 3 boys. He's running around everywhere. And he feels that he's not appreciated. He feels like an ATM machine. He feels that everyone is having fun in his family, and he's not. He feels that the family holidays are all about his wife and his children, and there's nothing for him. And he feels, why am I working a 70-hour week and then doing everything in the home, DIY, and taking the children to play all their sports, and he's just felt resentful, negative, and depleted. So the first thing we had to do was, okay, clear this negativity, clear this resentment. How do you clear negativity and resentment like that? You clear it by doing things for yourself and saying, well, I'm not going to get resentful, because I'm actually going to take time out for me, and I'm going to decide that I'm going to go and play golf, or I'm going to go out with my friends and listen to some music, or I'm going to go out on a lad's night out. This is in this scenario. Obviously it can apply the other way. So it's really important to look at other things in the relationship that may be causing suspicions of an affair. A breakdown in communication doesn't mean there's an affair. It means that there's something going on in the relationship. And if you talk to your partner about it, hopefully you can resolve the issue and become closer. And that's what people do when they join my Empowered Love audio program. The 25 audios takes them week by week, rebuilding that. Because it's horrible to be in a relationship where you feel that someone's cheating on you. It's horrible to be in a relationship where you're not communicating, you're not connecting. And so taking action, doing some work on your relationship yourself, getting empowered, learning about communication skills, learning about relationship skills is really, really key. So I'm going to put the link along with this episode if you're interested in getting the course and understanding and reading about the program, because it is really amazing. And I'm also going to make sure that along with this episode, I have my Instagram link, which is NicolaBeer1, and my Facebook group link, because I'd love you to join me. If you like these podcasts, which a lot of you do, I get emails all the time saying how much it's helped you, how it's brought positivity back into your life, how you've turned things around, how you're now having another baby, or how you've renewed your wedding vows, or how you're now going on a romantic holiday together and you haven't done that in years. I really love hearing your stories, and so I want to give you support every day if I can. So you can join me in my Facebook group, you can message me, ask me if you have any problem, ask the group. It's a new community, so it's not very active at the moment, but it's getting there, and I would love you to join, and I'd love you to see it grow with me, help each other to have great relationships and great home lives. Now, some of you have asked, can you donate to the show? There is a donation page on my website, nicolabeer.com. You can donate as little as $3 a month, $5 a month, whatever you feel, if that's what you would like to do. From my heart to yours, I hope you have a wonderful week ahead, and can't wait for you to join me in the next episode.
Thank you for listening to How to Save Your Marriage with Nicola Beer. To book your free marriage strategy session today, you can visit www.nicolabeer.com, where you can also get the free marriage fixing ebook, request a topic for the show, and make a donation if the show has been of benefit to you and you want to help keep it going. We wish you an amazing love-filled day ahead.